Hello, and welcome to 10 Very Big Books, a Malazan read-through podcast. My name is Peter Bond. I've read each book in the main series. However, my two co-hosts are reading the series for the first time. With me today is my friend and closest confidant, India Jones.
Hello.
And bodies are disappearing around town, and I don't know if I can trust him. It's Joshua Dean Baker.
You'll never find them. I am the ultimate hider.
I gotta be honest, I've got no opening. I completely forgot to think of something to say, so...
Josh, it's always you.
It's always me. So my thought of the week, I texted this to Peter.
I almost had...
This week I told Peter a fun fact about Memories of Ice.
That's the opening I wanted to use.
So I texted Peter, and we're only 6 chapters in, but I did claim that this may be the greatest book I've ever read. And I said it was a tragedy that in order to enjoy the book Memories of Ice, one must read Gardens of the Moon. And it's truly, truly one of the darkest things about this series. So that's my 2 cents. You can't get Memories of Ice without Gardens of the Moon, you know?
I fully agree. I mean, I think it's such a treat, and I think the rest of the series is great too. But I do know what you mean, and I think it's tough to sometimes thread the needle of like, oh, I don't like, maybe you're not gonna like the first book, but some of the other books are worth your time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tough sell.
Yeah, I don't know, it's complicated, and that's why when people tell me they like Gardens of the Moon, I'm like, awesome, this is all good news for you. Do you know what I mean?
Only up from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't know. Let's start the show. Chapter 4. Harlow and Stony Monachus are carrying the carriage across the river, whilst Gruntle watches Buke approach Botulin and Corporal Broach. We hear about Buke's family demise and his tragic past, and he returns to share tea with Gruntle. Buke will help guard the two strangers. He believes these two to be responsible for a series of murders in Darujhistan. Quickben consults with the Witch of Tennis about the sickness that has taken the sleeping goddess Burn. Outside Pale, Captain Paran unites Quickben and the sorcerer Spindle. They reflect on the Battle of Pale, and Paran thinks of his sisters. They reach Caladan Bruin's encampment, where Whiskey Jack greets them. Paran meets with Dujek, and the High Fist delivers news from the Empire. Paran's parents have passed. His sister Tavor ascended to the Adjunct, and his sister Felicin sent to the Otatural Mines. Paran meets with Whiskey Jack, and they discuss Silver Fox. The child awaits meeting with Paran, but the captain is hesitant to meet Tattersail, reborn into a child. They also speak of Nightchill, and her being a soul taken. Silver Fox has also given Paran a new name, Genesad Rule, Wanderer and the Sword. Paran only concedes to meet her after learning that Calor wishes to kill the girl. Sergeant Anstey's squad, Spindle, Blend, Dedaran, and Trots, sneak into Caladan Brood's camp to take back the bridge burner's table. On the bottom side of it, a strange, unaligned image of a figure with a dog-headed chest appears. Spindle starts making a painting of it. North of Pale, Paran and Silver Fox meet at sunrise. Silver Fox urges Paran not to be afraid of her or the Talani Mass. Silver Fox speaks of the deck of dragons and the houses within. The houses of the deck reflecting ancient holds and perhaps Azath houses. They consider Azath houses being gates into different warrens and consider how Kellanbet ascended to the Throne of Shadows. They then speak of Animander Rake and High House Dark. Paran has dreamed of a child within a wound, and Silver Fox urges him to run towards it. Paran has entered the deck of dragons, represented by a new unaligned card, the Master of the Deck. Paran rejects this title, turns to see his companions watching him. Quickben offers him advice, but he declines. In the next chapter, too, we spend a lot of time in Caladan Brood and the Malazan's encampment, learn all about the politics of the army before they go south. But before we do, we touch in with Harlow and Stony Monachus before we kind of really focus them on chapter 6. So we learn more about Buke's past as he kind of globs on to Corporal Broach and Botchelin. And how do you feel about touching in with the caravan guards?
Well, these are the people that are curious about the murders that are occurring, right?
Yeah, Buke is like kind of leads the suspicions.
Yeah, I'm really interested, and I guess we could talk more about that in chapter 6. But I think that they're interesting characters. I guess I have a feeling that, like in chapter 6, we read all about them, but I'm still kind of wondering where they fit into this grander scheme. I still don't get it. Maybe that's just me, but.
Do you mean the grander scheme of the Paninian?
The whole book, because like it seems to be they're going like one way, and the whole book is going toward the Paninian domain.
Yeah.
So I just don't get their point yet. But this I say this about a group of characters in every book, so I'm sure it'll all make sense to me soon. I feel bad about his whole family dying, and now he kind of like wants to die like in a noble way because he didn't save his family, I guess, I think is what his whole
that's like
spiel is.
He's like, yeah, it's sad.
It's sad, but like, come on, guy. Doesn't have to be like that. But I hope that I'm intrigued to see what comes of their whole situation, what comes of this whole, like, I don't know. Whatever they're looking for, I just don't get it yet. So
yeah,
and how it fits into the story. But they're fun. They're cool. They'll be interesting.
I think we're gonna have such a chance to talk about them in chapter 6 since it's so focused on them.
Exactly.
So Josh, let me ask you then. Quick Ben speaks with the witch of tennis, and really is starting to think more about the sleeping goddess. And what's your vibe on Quick Ben? I think this is our first time, especially in the first book. We is kind of more in the shadows. Feel like nowadays we're spending more time at this point of view as he's kind of thinking about what to do with the sickness that's ailing Byrne.
Well, first, I mean, it's pretty interesting to like get to actually spend some one-on-one time with Quick Ben. Like you said, he's usually in some ensemble roles in the first book. I'm curious why he feels like this is something that he and only he can work on, you know what I mean? Like why he's not cluing anyone in at this point.
Yeah, he actively omits it later on.
He does, yeah. It's interesting. And also, let's talk about like how there's just a random witch here who like lives in a hovel and people pay her and she's like, ooh, witch stuff, and just like, and why does he trust her? Like, I mean, I guess she's good.
She's very old. She's a witch.
She's very old and a witch.
Where's her credibility?
If there's two things a witch has to be, it's very old and a witch, and then you can trust them.
That's true.
Yes.
But is she citing academic journals? Isn't that the question? You know.
Preach, man. Is Chicago style MLA what we dealing with? So, I guess I don't know. I'm interested. I am curious if this is going to be something that like we start here and like we kind of, like India said, we have a lot of things going towards the Panian Damin. So like, is he going to be the whole time just like, I'm killing hordes of the Panian Damin? I wonder how Byrne's doing in this moment of brief, like, you know, like, is that going to be how it is? Or is he going to just kind of like let this to the side and like figure it out 3 books from now? Who knows?
Do you think Quick Ben's crushing on Byrne? Is that what you think it is?
What? No. She's the Earth.
I was just, it was a joke, Josh. I was just.
How is she? I'm so fascinated by her.
I have a lot of questions.
I forget who. Oh, Paran learns about it when he's in Azath. It's like.
Yeah, that was weird.
She's like the lava.
Oh yeah,
she's like the lava thing.
Time.
Yeah. Well, let's chat about that later, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Byrne's cool. I'm into it. Into the next part, we see Paran think about his sisters, and then he learns about his sister, and we also meet the sorcerer with the hair vest, Spindle.
So funny.
Tell
that
me
hair vest.
Tell me why.
Spindle's funny. I really enjoy his character and the whole fact that he allegedly wears a shirt of his mother's hair.
And he plays into that rumor. I don't even know if it's true or not right now.
It is the fun, and like he stinks. I just think he's just a hilarious character, yet refuses to wash the shirt. But I don't even remember the question. That just got me so excited. Paran finding out about his sisters. Yeah, that was kind of sad. I didn't realize that he always what's the middle sister? Tavor. Well, I didn't realize that Tavor was always like more of a I don't know, like less familial and just kind of all about elevating herself, which is what it seemed like. But then I couldn't tell if he was saying like she would definitely protect Felicin because she's like for the family, or she would do what's best for herself because all she cares about is the Empire. Mm-hmm. So can you shed a little, if possible, can you shed a little more light into that? Because he did mention like she'll definitely look after the house, but then she didn't at all and just went on to send her sister, which I think he mentioned that, or maybe, I don't remember who he was talking to, Whiskey Jack, I think.
I think Dujek delivers the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, she probably sent her there so that she wouldn't die, and like definitely plans on getting her soon.
Which is alluded to when we find out that what's his face?
Bowden.
Bowden. No.
Who?
Yeah, is that his name? Yeah. When we find out that he's a Talon and like they're watching over her, then yeah, that's definitely kind of alluded that she was gonna help her eventually, but she was there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then she left.
I think it's interesting, this point, because it's the first time, especially after Deadhouse Gates, where we learn so much about Tavor, but it's from Felicin's point of view. So to say it's biased is, I mean, I don't know, obviously, right? So I think it's interesting to see the conversation about Tavor from the other siblings' point of view. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of rooted in Gano-S's perspective.
Yeah, I feel bad. He's the guy has a lot to deal with as it is with his whole tummy troubles. So
tummy troubles.
This
does have some tummy issues.
I feel like he wasn't really I don't know if he was expecting it or if he wasn't expecting it, but it's shitty nonetheless.
Yeah, and both of his parents are dead, so...
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't even know how to respond.
I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. Josh...
Just the way the cookie crumbles.
Paran then meets with Whiskey Jack, and they have a whole conversation about a lot of stuff, including Silver Fox. And then we also learn about Paran getting this new name, and it's this first time we hear about maybe his rising power, you know?
Out of nowhere, of course.
Well, how did you find, I guess we'll have a chance to talk about it all episode, but how did you feel at this point about Paran's reticence to accept this power?
He needs to stop being a weenie, and, like, listen, man, if you're getting told, listen, you got two options. You can ascend to godhood, or you can just have so much anxiety about it that your stomach eats itself. Like, I would say ascend to godhood seems pretty good to the alternative.
Facts.
I just want to caveat. I don't know if it's godhood, you know, but it's like
somethinghood that is not dying from anxiety.
It's power.
It's power.
It's certainly powerful.
Are you too scared to accept power, Peter?
I mean,
classic.
Right now, if Peter, the offer was to ascend into the deck of dragons, I'm probably no thank you on that particular offer.
I might have like two questions, and then I'm taking him up on it.
Yeah, but what about the dog chest, you know?
The dog chest?
I'd like you to, can somebody like really, really make an image of that for me? Because I can't picture it.
What are we talking about?
The dog chest? I guess I have an image,
dog chest?
But that's like the later when they find the picture of the master of the deck on the bottom of the table. It's like a man with a dog on the chest. It's described somewhat like that, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't get that.
This is actually the perfect time to mention, too. This is the first time we actually see the bottom side of the table because Sergeant Antsy Squad sneaks in, and this is our first time building up the table, which is obviously going to play a bigger part in the next chapter.
More important than the table... So, these bridge burners are the bridge burners I was promised in Gardens of the Moon. And all I can say is I'm here for it.
What do you mean?
Gardens of the Moon, everyone's like, oh, the bridge burners, the legendary soldier. And like they talk about like their exploits and their you know, they kind of talk about their goofs. But in book one, they're just so serious. It's almost like they keep getting sent on suicide missions and have become morbidly depressed about it or something. And now... And also, there's like 6 of them. And it keeps being alluded to that there's more than 6 of them, but we only meet the 6 of them.
It's true.
And now, we get all these new ones, and they're awesome. I love all of them. They're all great. So that's just my take. I love these bridge burners. They're wonderful.
Huh. I do know what you mean. It's like nice that it kind of fleshes out. I don't know. The second squad of them does make it seem more than like, yes, there's another 70 off screen, you know?
Yeah, it's very good. These are my other friends. They go to another school. You wouldn't know them.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like a lot in the first book.
Inge, at the end of the chapter, Paran and Silver Fox meet. They speak about the Azath, they speak about Paran's rising power, and they speak of the Talan Imas. How did you feel about this, let's say, reunion between the two characters?
'Twas sweet. Poor Paran. He's like so confused and conflicted, which I totally get because like it's super uncomfortable that the love of your life is in a 6-year-old's body, 10-year-old's body.
Yeah.
Very odd. And she's just talking like they're just picking up right where they left off, which is even more awkward. But beyond that, it is mentioned that there are 3 people, not 2, in this child, and then it's like, but no, there is 2. But then they also mention Bellerdan. So I need to understand what that means because it's either 2 or 3. It can't be both.
I'm trying. Okay, so the 3 people that are within Silver Fox are first off Tattersail, who is like the biggest personality of the 3 from what we met. Okay.
So far.
Well, then there's Night Chill, who is described as being pretty cold towards others and kind of distant a lot. But it's also alluded to maybe she's centuries old and also like ultra powerful. Who knows? There's some weird stuff being said about that.
A lot of questions. Right? They went to investigate her in the next chapter.
Yes, they do. So she's in there, and probably because she's typically more cold, it's like the Tattersail part of the personality is the one that does most of the human interaction. But then on top of those 2 is Bellerdan. Bellerdan was the big guy who was married to Night Chill.
Right.
And he's the one that stopped Tattersail, and their fight caused them all to burn up. But he was like, literally his whole personality in book 1 was like, I am big and quiet, also sad. And so he's just not coming out much because he's big and quiet and sad. And he doesn't need to come to the top of that often yet.
I'm actually going to jump in and say, Josh, you think you've got some things turned around because...
Disagree, but I'll
No,
sustained.
you're...
Sustained.
Our first fight of the episode.
No, you're just... I think, it's not often that Pete's going to come in with the facts, but Pete's like feeling pretty confident you're 100% wrong. So,
okay.
In the next chapter, I believe the Quickben probes for Bellerdan, and maybe it's Quickben.
Missed that.
They probe for Bellerdan, and they conclude that Bellerdan only exists in the memories of Night Chill.
Oh, that's right.
So they did say that.
That is
but
right.
It's kind of bothersome to me that they keep refer to him at all. Because like, why are you confusing me? Why?
Yeah, and I think at the end of last chapter, they noticed that they are openly questioning where Bellerdan got off to.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
So
whatever. Fine. Fair. Well, then it seems that Night Chill's pretty fucking strong if they think that Bellerdan was in there for some point. If her memories are that potent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I thought their conversation confused the hell out of me. They talked about the deck of dragons and how that was related to the Azath houses and and the people. And I have truly, Peter, that scene... It's setting up for me to understand something, and like I think obviously they go a little bit more into it in chapter 5, which I still didn't get when he went into the Azath house. But what the hell was she talking about, Josh? If you'd like to jump in again and let me know.
For which thing?
And that's not, and I'm just gonna say now, that can't just be a me thing. It was an extremely confusing conversation.
Well, it's like a lot of lore and exposition that's coming out in this conversation about maybe the nature of the Azath houses and the powers that they are channeling, Josh, how much of this did you make sense of?
Specifically, what are we talking about?
About, take it.
Yeah, I'll clear, of course I will. Paran and Silver Fox, when they're discussing the deck of dragons and the relation to the Azath houses and...
Oh, I feel pretty good about it. Though I feel good about like the back half of it. The back half being like, and the Paran thing kind of solidifies it, but like it really seems like there's just like places of power become a place of like become sort of like a thing that the deck of dragons sort of represents, if that makes any sense. That's kind of the idea I was getting at it. I don't understand. Like,
well,
we saw
that obvious. Why is she telling us this? Like, didn't freaking already know that. That's
Well, what we didn't know is that each of them corresponds to a specific house within the deck.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't made the connection that Dead House, is the house, it leads to the creation of the House of Shadow, which is an offshoot of the House of Death, right? Because darkness, I don't know, death and then shadow.
It's not an offshoot. That's like, it's an open question for the record.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it's not an offshoot, but like, I guess their idea being that like the Dead House should have been originally for like Hood, because he's like the leader of death, but they like decided to find an older house that is unused. I don't know. I have it. Like, I understand what they said. It's not like I could then extrapolate and make, predictions off of that in the slightest. I'm just kind of like here for the ride.
But like, I thought that once you go in, you can't come out.
No, you have to either, three
Do you have
things.
to be like invited in?
Three things. So sometimes it seems like you get in and then you just fall asleep for all eternity. Like fucking Vulcan and that one guy,
Malik Nam.
Malik Nam. Yeah, those two. And then like the girl who we met in Dead House, who was like related to the first sword under Kellenved.
Dassam Altor's daughter.
Yes, look at this motherfucker
God,
with the
Peter.
names. So like sometimes you just fall asleep. Most of the time you go through and they're like, "Sup, you're gonna be an ascendant." That's like the shadow throne and dancer, or what's his name? Cotillion. Yeah, that's what they
dancer.
do. Right?
And rope.
Yes. Oh yeah. And so you have those three, right? That's how they do. And then sometimes you are our boys Mappo and Akarium and Fiddler in the gang, and you actually just get to leave. But that one seems the one that happens the least amount of the time.
Yeah, I think you're mostly on it. It should be noted that Tremolor is corresponding with the House of Life, and
Yes.
the Azath House and Darujistan is correspondent with the Hold of Ice. So
This is too much.
Yeah,
it's a lot, India.
There's a lot going on.
I like kind of get it, but I also really kind of don't. I like when it comes up next, I will feel okay about what they say, but I don't know what's gonna come up next.
Yeah. But this is
and then
please.
And then they do also say that all of the houses are linked.
Yes, whatever that means.
Meaning what?
that was established in Deadhouse Gates when they travel from Tremolor to Malaz City via the Azath.
You thought I remembered that, huh?
Remember, they're like walking through, and there's like the big tile floor, and some tiles are missing, and they're like looking on the world map, and they're kind of like seeing different places they could go almost.
Okay.
This wasn't too long ago, Inge.
Yeah. Well. All right.
All right. Josh, do you want to read the next? You want to read the next summary?
Yeah, I'll do it. Hype.
It was it was a trick, India. It's really long. I got him.
Oh damn! It's so long. Fuck. Damn it.
All right.
Chapter 5. On the road, Tok and his companions make camp. Lady Envy draws a magical bath for herself, and we learn the names of the Seguleh. Tul helps Tok make arrowheads, and they speak of those who chained the crippled god long ago. Ascendants like Animander Rake and Caladan Brood. Tok is surprised the Seguleh serve Lady Envy, and speaks to the youngest one, Sanu. The Seguleh are a warrior people, and these few have come to this land to war against the Panian Domin. One of the Seguleh attacks Tul, and the two duel. Envy watches, amused, and withholds healing after Tul triumphs. She scolds the Seguleh to remind them of their place, and then heals Thurul. Quickbend confers with Whiskey Jack and Mallet about their next moves. They think Paran's blood has been linked with the Hounds somehow, and that the captain may be on the verge of ascendancy. They wonder about the true identity of Nightchill as well. Whiskey Jack orders Nightchill's identity investigated, and for them to push Paran towards ascendancy. Whiskey Jack then confers with Dujek about the campaign. They might not see Moonspawn until further south, that coral. They also speak of Kalor's threat against Silver Fox, and they wait for the emissary from Darujistan to arrive. The Maib and Caladan Brood discuss Silver Fox further. Maiba has probed inside to try and learn more about Nightchill and the souls that occupy her body. They both agree they want to support Tattersail's soul dominating the body. They leave to meet the Malazans. The emissary from Darujhistan arrives, led by the magnanimous Kruppa. Shortly after Kruppa is Councillor Cole and Councillor D'Arl. The councillors offer to send Kruppa away, but Kaladin Brood says the man is needed. With the Darus arrived, another meeting is called. Paran and Cole recall their first night meeting at the Godrobi Hills. Afterwards, Estrella and D'Arl laments the difficulty of an overland supply train to support the campaign south. Kruppa then suggests the Tirgal Trade Guild, who would be able to supply the campaign through the use of warrants. Crone flies from the discussion of logistics and ends near Sergeant Ansie's squad, where Spindle is doing a reading of the Deck of Dragons. A new unaligned card is in the center. Then, Obelisk, Soldier of High House Death, Magi of Shadow, Captain of House Light, and Assassin of High House Shadow, whose card now bears Kalam's face. The Maiba leaves the tents, knowing Silver Fox is asleep. Outside, she speaks to Paran about what Tattersail was like when she was alive. Corporal Picker sees Paran and recognizes him as the new card. Before sunrise, Paran sees Whiskey Jack. Kruppa continued droning on about the trade guild, so Whiskey Jack left. The Black Morinth are to drop the bridge burners off near the Barghast lands, where Trotz will lead an envoy to them. They are then to march south towards Kapistan. Anamander Rake arrives as a black dragon to land in the camp. The leaders gather to meet Anamander Rake, and Kalor speaks first. The High King calls for Anamander Rake to kill Silver Fox. Anamander Rake says the camp needs him to decide. However, Kaladin Brood does not wish him to unsheath Dragnipur. Whiskey Jack rides in front of the Son of Darkness and plants his sword between him and the child Silver Fox. Anamander Rake attempts to use sorcery to probe into the child. However, Silver Fox repels the magic. Anamander Rake reaches for Dragnipur, as Brood, Whiskey Jack, and Kalor reach for their own weapons. Just then, the tent explodes with a table and Kruppa is tossed into the air. As the bridge burners prepare for the Maranth to arrive, Paran is drawn to the confrontation. Seeing his own visage on the flying table, he falls over in pain. Silver Fox snaps the table legs, and the table now faces the crowd. Quickben says it is a massive card from the deck and examines the table. Once again, Paran finds himself in the Finnest house. Ralik Nam and Vorkin are still asleep at the door, and Raced greets him. They travel downward, and Raced tells Paran he has been chosen to be the master of the deck. Raced shows him a room with carved images of the houses of the deck. Paran travels into one, and finds a cold tent of animal hides and bones. Inside are twin thrones, with Imas skulls. It is the hold of beasts, once the seat of the Imas power before the ritual of Talan. Paran returns to the Finnest house and sees a burning figure on the card of burn. Paran learns that Kaladin Brood's hammer contains the power to wake the sleeping goddess, but he has refrained. If Brood were to free the crippled god, it would end life on the world. Paran steps back, weeping, and wants to go home. Paran wakes up back in the camp. Silver Fox greets him. She had drawn him there. Paran thinks he and Silver Fox will meet again at the second gathering of the Talan Imas. Anamander Rake agrees that he should wait to act until more is known about Silver Fox. The standoff ends and Kruppa is hungry. The Maiba slips away and pleads with the spirits of the Rivi to die. She feels so drained about Silver Fox and is beginning to hate her daughter. Korlat intervenes and stands by the Maib's side. Kaladin Brood and Anamander Rake speak about the new unaligned table. It will be carried by the Rivi. Paran must stay with it. Kalor yells at Whiskey Jack and then threatens Quickben. The wizard opens up a hole underneath the High King. Days later, Whiskey Jack and Quickben speak of the Grey Swords in Kapistan, Silver Fox, and the strange probings Quickben has done. Then the army starts to march.
Well, thanks for doing that summary, Josh. Quite a little long one. But at the top of the chapter, because once again, most of the chapter is spent at the encampment. But at the top of this one, we check in with Talk and the motley crew that is traveling north. How'd you feel about learning more about the Seguleh? Seeing a little more of Lady Envy, checking in with this whole squad.
I think this plot line is like pretty fascinating to me. Like, first off, I don't trust Lady Envy in the slightest.
What do you mean?
And it's very upsetting to me how much she is laying on the charm towards Talk. Because, look, I love our boy Talk, and he spent enough time in the Chaos Warrens. I don't need her to, like, fucking kill him or something dumb, right? So I'm glad that he's, like, really trying to stay a little bit distant, which is funny. More importantly, again, my ire at Steven Erikson never ceases. He has developed this entire truly fascinating society of warrior people just as a background for these three guys that are traveling with us, and it feels a little braggadocious to be like, yeah, that's right, I can create this just for like this fucking throwaway reason. I mean, like, maybe these three live with us for a while, but like, whatever. And also, let's talk about the fact that the one with the two eye slits is fully like, I am the third, Animander Rake is the seventh, and is basically like, I have no doubt that I would fucking crush him in a fight. Like,
yeah, I really like when they're talking about when Animander Rake visited the island.
Yeah, that's some badass shit. I truly would love to see a fight between those two.
Yeah. Inge, are you trusting Lady Envy? Where are you at with this whole crew?
I have no reason not to. So yeah,
bold strategy.
She's kind of funny. I like her. I think that, she's a strong female character.
She likes bats.
That's true.
I don't really get how she enslaved those people. I still don't. They may have mentioned it. If they did, I missed it.
They've alluded to her being absolutely fucking this incredibly powerful sorcerer.
Yeah.
I think someone even asked, they're like, I think Talk's like, I wonder how she ensorcelled these very strong warriors.
Yeah, and then he was like, magic, hence her bath that she is having. Yeah, when she was having that hot bath in the middle of nowhere, casual. Yeah, I like her. I think she's funny. I like when she flirts with Talk. I think it's hilarious, and I think that he gets so uncomfortable, which is even more funny.
Yeah.
I am interested in the Seguleh. I think it's funny when they were talking about when Animander Rake went and he had to like go into his warren because he was like done with the bullshit. It was too much.
He retreated.
Yes. He was like, yeah, I have no time for this. So that was cool. I had a point that I wanted to make about this and I don't remember it.
Was it about Tool?
No. Oh, yeah. So these people, they just they don't speak. They just kind of react. Like they just do little slight movements to show. Like, I don't get how they...
No, Senu speaks, the young one. He explains kind of their whole...
No, I know that they speak, but I mean, like, he just attacked Tool out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. And then Talk's like, why don't they attack me? And they're like, you're not a threat. And he was like, oh. But, like, how did that happen? Like, why? I thought, aren't we all cool? Like, no?
When they first met, all the Seguleh were trying to attack Tool, and Lady Owens was like, no. And
no, I know. But then they just did, knowing that we're all cool. Was it like a game? Were they playing?
I guess they're, like, trying to establish dominance, is how I kind of view it,
That's incredible. I enjoy this too much. That's hilarious.
It's very funny.
Inge, after this is the first time we go back to camp, and we see Quick Ben and Whiskey Jack not only speaking about their identity of Night Chill, but they also are kind of wondering if they should push Paran towards ascendancy. What do you think about them kind of scheming behind Paran's back in a way?
Paran needs some fucking guidance, and I'm here for it.
Yes, agreed, indeed.
Thank you. He I don't know why he's like, I just want to be a normal boy. Like, you're not a normal boy. We're in this situation now, and you've been in some shit, so I don't know why now you're having all these doubts and stomach pains. And I think that he needs that like push toward decision making, because the kid can't make a decision. And the decision that he's making is not right if he does make the decision. So
I don't know.
That, of course, tell me why, Peter.
I don't know. It's just like, I get it, He's having a hard time, and maybe he should just be allowed to have a hard time,
And he is, and everyone's aware of it. Nobody can get past his hard time. We're all so aware as he doubles over in pain publicly all the time.
Well, I think the doubling over in pain was a heightened circumstance for the record. Josh, I guess you two are pro this pushing.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Paran's he's indecisive as fuck. So like, get something done, please.
Well, afterwards, then we see Whiskey Jack go and talk to Dujek about maybe the next time they'll see Moonspawn, and then they also speak a little bit about Calor as they wait for the Darrows to arrive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do you feel about? I know we'll see Animander Rake later. But how do you feel about...
discuss what Moonspawn is first?
It's the big moon base that the Tisty Andy live on.
Now, I recall, is this when Sari said that she wanted to swim in the...
Yes, that's the thing that she looked at.
And you guys told me that she couldn't because it wasn't real.
No, that's... I said that I thought that passage was metaphorical.
It is very metaphorical. There's no oceans on the moon base.
Yeah, I think that's...
Have you been there?
Yeah, it's made of cheese. We've talked about this. You can't have oceans on cheese.
All I was going to say is, how do you feel about the moon base kind of going south ahead of the army? But, like, I guess this is, this is also a topic.
We got to get the move on, man. This chapter's too big to fucking dilly-dally.
Well, what's tough is, it's honestly tough to narrate, to, like, guide the conversation. It's like, this chapter is just so much, it's just like, watch two people talk. And, like,
all right, great. Here, I'll lead us through some stuff. You ready?
It builds to this confrontation.
We don't need to talk about the emissary arriving. Guess what? Kruppa is funny. Wonderful. Next.
No, we gotta talk about Krupp arriving. Pete's hyped up. What's that? He's here. Krupp's back, eating pastries. I love the bit when he's like, I'm representing Baruch. He didn't ask me, but I looked in his eyes and I knew he was telling me, Krupp, I need you to lead up my emissary.
I simultaneously love and hate that character. God damn.
I agree, into it.
I hate him when he's like this. No, I like him when he's like not annoying.
Yeah, I like it when he offers commentary, not when he's trying to like expositize a plan, because he takes too long.
No, this is the best Krupp, and
That's the reason why the chapter is so long.
Yes.
Because of his stupid paragraph-long sentences that make no sense about nothing, but apparently mean something because he's brilliant. We get it. I'm sick of it.
Thank you, India. Thank you.
Man, I'm here for it. We can't.
We can tell, Peter.
Ask away, Peter. Let's discuss.
We also see Cole and Council Astrasian Diarl again.
I love Cole.
Couldn't care less about Astrasian DR. Cole rules. Next.
Agreed.
We get a little Chalice shout out at one point.
Don't care.
She's fine. She's getting married. It's fine.
Anywho's, and then they all meet, and this is when Krupp suggests to use the Trigal Trade Guild to supply the army as they travel south. And he also has like a stake in it because like Krupp knows how to play that game. He's getting that bag.
He does. That's nice.
You gotta respect.
You gotta respect the game.
But it's like, are you all so stupid that you don't do they just not realize that he's just playing the shit out of all of them?
They fully realize it, but they also understand it's a good idea, and they're like, "Fuck, it is a good idea."
It should be mentioned. Paran and Cole have they're like, "Oh, remember the long time no see," and they kind of catch up. It's nice.
That was cute. Yeah, that was a cute little scene between them in that book that they were in together.
Yeah.
Guards of the Moon.
Correct. By the fire.
That which shall not be named.
Classic.
Classic meet cute. All right. After this, we do see Crone fly off, and we see a reading of the Deck of Dragons. Josh, how much of this reading did you decipher?
None. Next.
Nothing.
I mean, listen. Okay. Great. Fine. I don't know what obelisk is. Okay.
It's the first time it's been here for a while.
Sure. Soldier of High House Death. I don't super know. Now, Magi of Shadow. It's probably Quick Ben. It's my guess. I mean, it's clear that he was... actually, hey, quick sidebar. A thing that has been annoying the shit out of me.
Quick Ben. Quick Ben
yep,
sidebar.
It's about Quick Ben. So, my guess is he's the Magi of Shadow, right? But here's my question for you. In book 1, he visits... what the fuck it's called? Shadow Throne's place, right?
Sure.
Can you give me an amount of years between Gardens of the Moon and Kellanvid's death? Can you give me that?
Oh.
I need to know. For a lot of clarification purposes.
If I had a physical copy, it's definitely in Gardens of the Moon for sure. Give me a second. It definitely exists.
Because what I'm trying to figure out is when he visits him and then runs away at the end, it is said that Quick Ben was a high priest of High House Shadow. But how long has High House Shadow existed that it had high priests in general? Like that, the timeline feels weird to me. So
as I know, I didn't need to Google it. It's about 8 years from the time Lysine takes the throne to when we read about the Genebakan campaign.
18 years. All right, I guess that's enough time. That's enough.
Years.
8? That's not enough time.
Enough time for what?
For there to be like a whole system of priests and high priests and bullshit. That is the timeline I am most confused by. Like the time between fucking Kalenved dying and the start of Guardians of the Moon. That timeline feels wonky to me. Like it feels like so much happens in not tons of time.
So we'll skip a few conversations here now to talk about because some logistics are made about how the trade guild are going to get there, about how the Maranth are going to be used as they march towards Capistan. But the attention of the camp is drawn when Animander Rake arrives as a black dragon and lands. Everyone gathers. Calor is like, let's kill Silver Fox. Caladan Brood's like, don't you dare draw that weapon. Whiskey Jack is trying to get in there. Everyone draws their weapons. It uses magic. It's a whole... Things are getting real tense. Inge, what do you think about Calor prodding the bear that leads to this whole situation when Animander Rake shows up second one and he's kind of put in this situation of being the judge, so to speak?
Why is he to be the judge of this bullshit? Second of all, I think that they just need to let Silver Fox do her thing because she's gonna do it anyway, and they're not gonna kill her. It's just like a big huge setup. I knew nothing would happen because come on, this child is like the star of this book so far, in my opinion. So much. So
agreed.
Yeah, so I mean, I could have truly, I get it, you got to write about something, but I could have done without this whole scene.
Interesting. You just felt like the tension wasn't there for you.
It wasn't, because I knew something was going to be said that was going to diffuse the whole situation. Obviously, because what's going to happen to this child?
I think to me, it more just portrayed, because before we've heard about how tenuous this alliance is, and I think it more portrayed that through action is kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Fair points, young Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm older than you, India. I don't know what we're doing.
No, you're not. I was born in May.
All right.
Yeah, you fucking June baby. Wait, what day in May, India? I was May also.
The 30th.
Oh, I'm 17th. I'm the oldest.
I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, back to the show.
Fucking June 10th, boy. June 10th that over here.
This is a matter of days. A smattering of days. All right, back to it.
Okay. Yeah. Animander Rake was really quick to draw his freaking sword because little Silver Fox was like, get out of my head, man. This is not your place.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is kind of rude because who are you to be snooping around in my business like that?
It's the son of
Silver
darkness.
Fox in that way. But I really appreciated when it was all said and done, when Caladan Brood was talking, you guys are this was so unnecessary. And it's obvious that we should just wait to make any decisions. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think I like it too when you learn more about Caladan Brood, when you kind of learn about the power of the hammer and blah, blah, blah. Total chiller, especially with this.
Absolutely.
He's like, everyone needs to take 5. Calor, you need to chill out. Here's the Snickers bar, Josh, how'd you feel about this confrontation? Or almost?
I think about the same as India. It felt like a lot of fucking chest pumping for nothing. Yeah. Fucking dudes being dudes, bros being bros, trying to become the dominant. But why do we need to? Clearly this guy has a sword that eats souls. He doesn't need to fucking have a contest with people.
But did we learn about I don't want to just say it. Actually, why don't I just say it? But this hammer that Caladan Brood has.
Oh yeah, the hammer's crazy.
Pretty lit as well. So
yeah. Did not expect it to be an earth-shattering hammer in his hands.
Kind of makes sense as to why they speak more like equals, I feel.
Yeah. Question. So, am I reading these hints right? Is Caladan Brood known for, potentially, insane rages where he just fucking destroys people?
I missed that.
Because he was, I don't know, there was, a 1 or 2 sentence thing where he was, he talks about not wanting to use the hammer for fear of, going too far or something.
Well,
is he constantly just barely hitting people? Because if he actually hit someone and hit the ground, he would just fucking shatter the earth.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point of the hammer?
Yeah, to wake burn, but that would free the crippled god.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what Jen said. I don't know if it's I think it's kind of discussed. It's about waking burn. Yeah. Well, let's get into that. So we kind of learn all about all of this. And then additionally, we learn about, we see the Hold of Beasts when Paran is kind of briefly drawn towards this conflict, and then he kind of falls into the Azath house, and we see Raced again.
How the hell did that happen?
No, I don't know. We're not gonna know. India
sorcery.
It happened out of nowhere.
So we learn a lot here, and it's in such a strange way, and once again, Paran is refusing the call to become this master of the deck. India, how did you feel about being in the Azath house again, since the last time we were here kind of in that flood of the ending of Gardens of the Moon?
The Azath house, to me, seems like when you see a small house on the outside, and then you go inside and it's freaking huge.
Yeah.
That was my first thought, obviously.
Like, it's got deceiving portions. Oh, Race got goofs.
I was like, when were you funny?
Yeah.
So
he was too busy trying to destroy the world last time.
Yeah. Now that he's just bored now, so he has time. So I thought that was great. When he goes down, and that's when he like truly learns the shit. Like, the world's gonna end, bro, one way or another. What does he have to do with anything? What does him being a card have to do with anything?
He's gonna become. He's the king of the deck or whatever, master of the deck.
Tell me what that means to me right now, and
nothing,
why?
India,
how can
nothing.
you even ask me anything about this?
I don't think it means anything to us just yet. I think it's gonna because the deck of dragons is still just such a fucking weird thing for us. Like only in book 3. I don't know, India.
And like, if I don't know about it, do you know about it, Paran? Because like, you're being real upset about something that truly, do we all?
That's true. He doesn't even know what they're asking of him, and he's like, "How dare they ask that of me?" Ugh.
So I mean, like, it's confirmed for like the 17th time now since everybody's been saying it for this whole chapter. So like, thanks for telling me officially, I guess. And yeah, I mean, cool. Sucks, I guess.
Well, we also, yeah. It is confirmed.
Then he finds out. Doesn't he find out a little bit more about the burn sleeping goddess?
Yeah, you kind of learn about. We talked about a little about the hammer, and that like if he were to use it, it would free the crippled god, but then everyone would die.
The crippled god wins either way.
Yeah,
truth.
And then we also see the what used to be the seat of the Amass's power before the ritual of the Talon with the twin thrones.
Correct. No idea.
Any thoughts from you, Josh?
Yeah, there's definitely a queen or a king or some bullshit we don't know about yet.
Or
There's
both.
2 gods for them. I don't know. Well, no, we know of one thing. Like, I think they were saying that, like, they know that there's one thing that should be in one of the thrones. I can't remember who or what. But he is, like, he's like, but should I? What could be in the second throne? And it's, like, another one. I don't know. What? I don't know. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
well,
I don't have much on that.
Well, when he comes to, he's once again in the midst of it, and that's when you kind of see the standoff die away. But afterwards, we see the Maib kind of flee, and she is contemplating ending her own life as she feels she has grown to hate her child, and this is taking a toll on her. She is stopped by Corlat. But India, how did you feel about seeing the Maib throughout this chapter and this kind of climax of her sorrow in this scene?
Her life is freaking stressful. So, I just feel for that girl. She's 20? And she looks like dead at this point. She can't do anything. It's her child is now apparently like, or so she said, taking up more of her now in an effort to grow faster for whatever reason she's trying to do it. She has no idea.
I think they say that Silver Fox has grown 5 years in the span of these chapters.
By the end of this, she has to be 15, which means, she's getting older.
What? Is that real?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, and that's only been,
a couple days, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So, and it took her 6 months to grow to 10. So it seems like it becomes more rapid. Or she doesn't realize what she's doing. But regardless of that, she wants to kill herself, and I get it. I mean, so would I. That sounds freaking awful.
It really does. And it's also like noble as shit for her to be like, I want to die so I don't grow to hate my daughter. Like, fuck, that's brutal.
I'm freaking miserable. So
yeah, brutal.
So like I get that. I feel bad for her because then Corlat comes and is like, ha ha ha, no you don't. And she kind of makes it seem like she's doing it for her. But like, for me, it's like, you're just protecting this kid's life force. So that
Interesting.
is my thought on it. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
so
much
it's like
more
you're
Reddit
torturing
as...
her to be alive. You're not doing this because you like her. You're doing it like, because if you like, I don't know.
I
what
guess
is this life?
I mean, I'm more Reddit as like, I don't know, like as a legitimate intervention, you know?
Initially, I read it as that, but like, for what? So she she has no quality of life at this point. She's miserable and she hates her freaking kid.
Like, saving lives is good, so.
I agree, P, but I don't think that's the case here. But you read the book, so you would know. But I just feel like, okay, you die now. Where is she getting any more life force from? Where is it going to come from? Will she be? And then my thing is, if she does die, does she just stay 15? Because if that's the case, I think they're going to cut her off around 21 so that she's like, you know, of like hot young age, but still a woman. That's what I gotta say.
I guess so. You
never read the books.
Josh, do you have anything to say about that?
Nope.
Well,
do you agree, Josh? Do you agree with me or do you agree with Peter? That's what I want to know.
I'm with India. I always agree with India.
Thank you.
That's not true. Sometimes you've agreed with me. I can't think of it right now, but like maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, fucking got him.
Earlier, Talk and Tool speak a bit about the past that Animator Rake and Caladan Brood share as ascendants. And here we see the two of them together speaking about a variety of things, including Silver Fox and the Pananian Domain.
So here's my thoughts.
Okay.
Have you watched all of Naruto Shippuden?
No, I haven't.
So, in Naruto Shippuden, there's this theme of two guys, and like these two spirits keep getting reborn every generation. There's always like the hothead who's like fighting for good, and then the cool, calm, collected one who's maybe his morals are dubious, right? It happens generation after generation. I really got strong Naruto Shippuden vibes from thinking about Caladan Brood and Animator Rake, and they start talking about this Queen of Dreams, who I think must have traveled with them, although I believe that Lady Envy also traveled with them, yes? And it really feels like the new generation version of our boys Cruel and the other two, whose names I've completely forgotten. Do you know what I'm talking about? The three elder gods?
Oh, from the very, very beginning.
From the very beginning. What were their two names? Draconir?
Draconis, Krull. And then there was
a third one.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. But I really feel like thinking about them, I'm like, this was the new power trio. Now they've been separated for a little bit, but like it seems interesting that there's like a second crew of like highly powerful people who are intertwined with like the fate of the crippled god and with Calor and stuff. So I don't know, I found that interesting.
It's the sister of Cold Knights, and
the
for the
sister
record,
of Cold Knights, right?
Goddess.
And now we have the Queen of Dreams. It keeps being ladies who don't get real names. And I'm very interesting if there's any connections between the two trios. That would be sick. There probably isn't. I'm probably just like making something up that's nothing, but it would be very cool. However, I also didn't expect Animator Rake and Caladan Brood to be just kind of boys. Like, I didn't think they'd be like, yo, what's up? It's us.
They're full broing it out.
They bro out. It's pretty great. Especially Animator Rake. That dude's cold. Like, it's nice to see him not be so morbid, pessimistic, you know, any of those words.
Put a smile on that face.
That's all anyone's trying to do, buddy.
Yeah. So, Indy, do you have anything to say about the two of them?
No. They go back a long time. They're bros. It's cute. Love it.
Then let me put this to you. In one of the final scenes of the chapter, we see Paran, and you know his tummy's hurting, and he doesn't want to be the deck of dragons. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna sneeze.
My tummy. We have really just gone hard on Paran this episode.
Hey,
but
no, I was defending Paran. I'm pro him feeling his feelings. You know,
that's fine. You can be pro him being a little baby. He's just a little baby, and if you want that, it's fine.
Don't call him a little baby. He's depressed.
He's just a little baby.
Okay, all right. I think he's having mental health problems. I don't think it's fair to say.
He's having a tummy ache.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that's fair either. You know.
Whatever.
He
Peter,
like the blood of the Hounds of Shadows. Anyway, so at the end of this chapter, we see Calor yelling at Whiskey Jack, and then he gets put in a hole. So let me just ask you, especially after all the trouble he causes in this chapter, what's your mood on Calor being a part of this army headed south?
Well, he seems to be a bit of a impulsive person. He doesn't really listen to anyone but himself, which I think could be proved to be a bit problematic when you're with a bunch of people trying not to get everyone killed. And chances are the people that you're going to deal with might not agree with you. So, I don't know. I think that he's going to get into some stupid shit and some people that we like are going to die as a result of war. That's how I feel.
And Josh?
Fuck Calor.
He sucks.
That's about all I got. He seems real shitty.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's basically my opinion. And they start headed south. I think Whiskey Jack reaches out to the cell swords in Kepustan that were hired by the prince there.
Yes.
India, do you want to read the summary for the next chapter?
It depends, Peter. You know I hate reading. Let me give it a look over.
It's not as long. It's not a trick, it's just all that gruntle stuff,
No, I don't.
Let's cut all this then. Chapter 6. In Saltoan, the caravan escorted by Gruntle arrives. The guards relax at a bar as Cruelly negotiates with the crime lords of the city. Gruntle hears of the Teniscalri, a cannibalistic army driven by the Paninian Daman, along with the rape of corpses, giving birth to the children of the dead seed. Cruelly urges these crime lords to resist, and Gruntle recalls perhaps that Cruelly is a priest of an unknown god. After speculating about a new set of murders here in Saltoan, they learn the guards and Cruelly will be traveling south to Kepustan. The caravan sets out. Gruntle, searching for bandits, finds only bandit corpses, blackened and killed. On the road, Cruelly wishes to befriend a trio of nearby Barghast. Hetton and her siblings join the company and will travel towards Kepustan. That night, Gruntle and Hetton are the last awake and speak of the demons that have been attacking the Barghast and desecrating their ancestral sites. Afterwards, they sleep together. On the road once more, they speak about the Barghast people. They then see Botchlin's carriage damaged on the road. They examine it and can see inside. Gruntle can see a trunk open, revealing stone slabs and human organs sewn together in what looks like necromancy. The two sorcerers and their manservant return to the carriage. The duo were meddling with a Barghast barrow, which offends Hetton. Gruntle speaks with Hetton, and although they are leery, the group will travel together towards Kepustan. They return to offer this to the duo, who have used a stick snare to begin tracking undead that have been released. Gruntle asks why the duo are traveling this way, and they say they are but natural travelers. Further down the road, they make camp, and Hetton takes Harlow as a partner for the night. Stormy follows suit with a different Barghast. Botchlin warns that undead are approaching. The group readies themselves, and Cruelly says he is a priest of an elder god. Out from the shadows, massive undead reptiles emerge with swords for arms. They are Kachain Chamale hunters that serve their matron. The group battle the 5 Kel hunters, and there is a sorceress melee. A 6th hunter emerges, marked with steel spikes, and attacks the guard, Gruntle. Gruntle falls on the ground, and the hunter digs into his chest. And he sees darkness. All right, India, this whole chapter is Gruntle top to bottom, but it starts in Saltoan as he trades rumors in the bar about Cruelly and learns more about the Paninian Domain's Teniscalri army before they start traveling south to Kepustan. What'd you feel about learning all this new information?
I guess the word that comes to mind is horrified.
Sounds about right.
This is some next level bullshit, and I don't know how to feel about any of these children and the way that they are birthed, and I don't know. I don't really, as the chapter progresses, I don't really understand like what this means, because I don't like I'm not sure what are we going to meet these people? Did we meet them already? I just don't understand.
We haven't met them yet.
Okay, because I couldn't.
Who have we not met or have met?
Anyone from the Paninian Daman.
Oh, nope, nothing yet.
So then these Barghast people are just random people that we meet along the way that are also freaking strange?
Yeah, they're local people on the continent that are also, yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable with these people, and I don't want to meet them, and I hope that we don't because they seem insane. I'd like to meet them maybe like later, way down the line. Chapter 8.
2 chapters from now?
Book 8. Because I don't understand where they're even going to fit, because I get it, they're from the Paninian Domain, but like, is everyone like that? Is it just one group of people? And why are they?
They said they're Kashan Shamal, which are like the race. So indeed, remember in the beginning, there's like the tear, the rift, and those 2 kids get thrown in there, right?
Yes.
Do you remember that from the beginning? Okay. And then when Tok first wakes up and meets Lady Envy, she says that those barrows held Kashan Shamal and like a Kashan Shamal mother and her kids, and that the shift in the rift's power or something caused them to be unleashed. So this is one of the 4 founding races that have been dead for, like, they're the ones that they thought none were left. And now we're learning that, they came out of there, but also these are Kashan Shamal attacking currently, and like, we have not seen these because we've assumed they've been dead for like centuries now. So the Panian Domain's not like, the Panian Domain's mostly humans, but it looks like they have Kashan Shamal under their control or something like that. We don't know the details yet.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, Josh was like on point.
Cool.
And I just want to take the opportunity. I know we don't really see them till later, but I love the Kashan Shamal. I think they're wild, dreamy beasts to be in these books.
Yeah, there's something right now.
And they're very unique, and I've always appreciated them.
I love a good dreamy beast.
They got swords for arms, Josh, after they leave Saltoan is when they first meet the trio of Barghast, and I think this is our first time seeing and learning a little more about Barghast culture. How did that strike you? You've mistaken the Barghast for Trells maybe a dozen times on the podcast.
Several times, yes. I very much enjoyed them. I don't know, just like the whole like, you as the female one grabs a man and is just like, we're fucking now. That is some like bold stuff. Pretty and very funny to me. That was the main thing that I was just like, this is so fucking wild. I don't know. They're cool. I like them very much. I would like to see more of their society. Yeah. And I am now very curious. Now, Trots is Barghast or part Barghast?
Trots is Barghast, and we didn't talk about it in the last chapter, but it's noted
he's
that
being sent. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the bridge burners are headed south by Black Moranth to Trots is leading an envoy to the Barghast. Then they're supposed to march south to meet the rest of the army in Kepistan.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I'm excited to get to see his interaction, and I'm very curious because it doesn't seem like these 3 Barghast, from what I'm getting from them, it doesn't seem like they care to interact with humans much. So I'm very curious what brought Trots to the Bridge Burners. I'm very curious if we find that out.
Yeah, he's been more talkative this book too.
He has.
After this, we see the Corbel Brooch and Botchland's caravan has been attacked. And we get a little more insight when we see some human organs sprayed out.
Oh, yeah.
So they do magic with dead people.
Seems that way.
Disturbing, but it makes sense. But did they murder the people? Or did the demons murder the people? Or both?
What do you think, Josh?
Boccalin's been murdering people. Not Bocalin, the other one. What's his name?
Corbel Brooch.
Corbel Brooch. Corbel Brooch has been murdering people a bunch, and it seems like they're necromancers, so he's harvesting their organs for like magic and shit.
Yes. Okay. But demons are also killing people.
The demons attacked them last night and did not manage to kill any of them, but came very close.
Yeah, and the demons, I think...
Or the Kashan Shamal. That's what they were called.
Yeah, because
they thought they were demons, but they are the Kashan Shamal.
The large alligators with sword hands.
Yes. Love that image, India. Love that image.
Thank you.
Very powerful.
They're more raptor-esque, but like alligators are very...
Nope, alligators. Done. That's in my head now forever.
That's what I've been seeing in my head, so...
Big old alligators with sword arms.
Yeah. Walking on 2 legs. No less.
Well, speaking of them, it's at night that they attack and that we see really the first glimpses of them. I mentioned my love for them earlier. Josh, how was this fight scene for you? And how did it strike you to see these beasts?
Well, I mean, the thing that annoys me sometimes, and I know it's good storytelling, is that we see these incredible fights almost always from the eyes of a fucking mortal who just gets their ass beat mercilessly.
Yeah.
And so when I'm like, we're gonna see this awesome fight, and then it's like, wait, shit, we're seeing it through Gruntle. And like, listen, Gruntle's got 2 cutlasses, and that's some powerful energy he's bringing. He is also a mortal, frail human who just gets fucking bopped in a minute, like less than a minute. Like in like the first 8 seconds, it's like cool shit happening. Those javelins came out of nowhere. Fuck that one guy up. There's a dude behind me. Bah! Just flies like 40 feet and he's out. Like, come on. I want to see the rest of the fight.
He's just a dude, though, you know.
Yeah, so let me watch it through the fucking necromancer's eyes.
My thing is, these ka-ching, chaba, la la la.
Listen, India, however we say it is fine, because that is some that's some fucked up spelling if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's uncool,
Yeah,
can't lie.
I agree with that.
So, they're not working on their own volition. They're being controlled by...
Maybe. Like that, I think that's a very solid guess, but we do not know that in the slightest.
Okay. I feel that way because I don't get why. I'm missing the why in all this. I do feel bad for Grundle, though. He did not deserve that.
Now, Grundle's a cool dude.
It's Gruntle with a T for the record. Let the record show.
Gruntle.
I gotta say, it was such a long reading, especially that central chapter, which a lot happened in. But maybe it didn't, like, not a lot necessarily happened. You know, it was a lot of characters discussing and feeling stuff. I don't know. I felt like we were able to talk about it pretty quickly, actually.
2 hours, not bad. Considering it was like a 7-hour read.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, let me ask the two of you this before we close up the show. Out of these, let's say 4-ish storylines, you know? I don't know. There's a lot.
Ish.
So you can pick whatever you want. What are you most excited to follow into the rest of the book out of these storylines?
Ooh. India, do you got one?
I don't want to say my generic answer, so I want to think of something that I'm like even more interested about.
I think I'm really excited to see the Tool talk Lady Envy line. Like that one seems so far from everyone because everyone else we've met is going to be coming to the Panion Domain from the north, and these guys are going to be the only ones arriving from the south. So they're definitely going to get a view of things that the others aren't. So I'm really excited for what they see.
Yeah. And you, India?
So you know I love the maybe, the Mybe lover, but I guess I have to say I'm more interested in like the larger plot here of what they're gonna do about this whole sleeping goddess and
oh damn
the
yeah
crippled god. I'm very, very intrigued at how they're gonna figure out this situation of what's the lesser of two evils here.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to crack into the rest of the book with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, thank you for asking. I always appreciate you turning it around on me like that, Josh. I think I agree with you. I think this time around, I'm excited to read about the talk set of characters because I don't know. It just wasn't. My head was so in the north with the military campaign the first time I read the book. Anywho's. Well, send us an email, of course. We're 10 Very Big Books. Same on Twitter. Let us know what we got wrong. I'm sure we got something wrong today. Oh, I shouldn't have asked that. No, of course, no, please. No, please.
Talk
Anything.
soon.
Talks. Man,
yeah, that's it.
every week I say, like, we should think of a better outro. And we just...
If you have ideas for an outro for us, hit us up.
Let us know.
Twitter,
honestly.
at
We are so
10 Very
open to
Big Books.
suggestions.
I do mostly feel that way. Well, I just ask you a closing thing. You don't even make predictions, you know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. I'm hitting stop on the recording.
Bye.
Hello everyone, producer AJ here, reminding you to please wash your hands. Let me just start off by saying that this has been the best season premiere we've had out of our 3 seasons. Usually the episodes take about a month to reach 1,500 listeners, but you got us to 1,600 in 2 weeks. So thank you so much for listening and sharing the show. We truly will never be able to thank the community enough. Speaking of community, the Very Big Books Discord server is live. We've been live just under a week, and the discussion and growth there is off to a great start. So head on over there. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically just a big chat room where you can talk to other people who like the show. You can check that out at bit.ly/VBB Discord. That will also be in the show notes. And as always, thank you so much to Dan Gesrick for making our spectacular logo. You can follow him on Twitter at Dan Gesrick for even more hockey stuff. Look, it's almost playoff season. And of course, the wonderful music in today's episode is by the one and only Amaranthin from their album Simulant Rain, which you can find along with their other music on bandcamp.com. Links to their pages will be in the show notes, and 10 Very Big Books will be back in 2 weeks on March 20th with chapters 7, 8, and 9 of Memories of Ice. Talk to you then, and thank you so much for listening.
And his sister Felison sent to the Otateral mines. That's how Steve does it, you know? Boom. What's up? Thanks, Steve.